Morning guys, another day, another electrical fault. Got one out the door last night and get a phone call, another customer on an unlit slip road, lost all the power on his bike completely, no lights, no nothing, and left him in a bit of a unsafe situation. Anyway, this little CBF 125 is what we're going to be testing today with the bulb method again. Okay, right, I have a few things set up ready to go. We have our bulb holder again, a little lead because we need to join a couple of connections together, and a new fuse. This is a 15 amp, it's the main fuse on this bike that's blowing. Okay, so we need that, and also this part down here, this is the starter relay. The fuse goes in this gap here, and then you've got 4 pins coming out. Now 2 of these pins are for the lives going to the main harness of the bike system, and the other 2 pins are an earth and a live that are coming in from the actual starter switch, which is what throws the relay to start the bike. Now, first thing we need to do is figure out what side of the fuse is connected to the power, the actual battery side. Okay, so I've got a little tester here, handy little tool. Now all we need to do is just probe the 2 sides of the fuse holder. Okay, nothing there. Okay, right, so as you can see, and here, that's the live side into the fuse. Okay, so the next stage is we'll pop the fuse in just to see what the out connections are. So we'll test that, nothing. This side, nothing, so we can assume that these are the actual starter terminals. That's live, and that's live. Okay, so these are the 2 that are from the opposite side of the fuse. If I remove the fuse and retest, we have no power there. So the next thing is we need to bridge the 2 cables together that connect to these 2 terminals, which is what we're using this for. Okay, so they're the 2 terminals, and then our bulb method again. We plug one side in to there and the other side into the live in to the fuse, and as you can see, we immediately have a light illuminated. Now if I turn the ignition on, you can see that there's very small change in the actual bulb's illumination. So we've actually got a dead short that is there all the time. It's not operated when the ignition switch is thrown, it's actually there all the time. So the next stage is I'm going to remove some panels and start disconnecting a few bits. I'm going to go for the regulator first because in my experience, when it's a short like this, it can potentially be the regulator. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove these plastics and we're going to have a look. Okay. Okay guys, now we've moved the rear of the plastics off of the bike to access the regulator, which is this part here, and straight away we've seen quite a big problem on the wire into the regulator. Looks like it's got hot, melted, and all the wires are now touching together. If you watch the bulb as I start moving this around, look, it's going on and off because this is where the actual fault is. So basically the next stage is to remove all the plugs, cut the wires, extend them, connect everything back together, and just do some tests to make sure that there isn't another fault somewhere causing this to happen. Okay, but that is the fault located. Okay guys, we've now carried out the repairs. This is the old plug that came off. I don't know if you can see the green corrosion around that red wire. That is the live wire. Now potentially that corrosion has caused a high resistance, which in turn has caused the wire to get hot, melting the casing and then melting the rest of the wiring. Now we've carried out a repair and a new plug onto the regulator. Okay, that's all working okay, and we've put a meter on DC across the battery terminals. The fuse is back in and everything connected up on the starter relay. And if we start the bike up, ignition on, as you can see everything is coming on and working as it should. Press start, and as you can see the meter is now going up as we rev the bike. The voltage increases. Now that's quite a healthy voltage we're reading there. I've had the bike running for a little while just to make sure that none of the wiring or the regulator is getting hot again, and all appears to be well. So bang on, another job done.